Welcome to another edition of SKNI's Week in Review. I am your presenter, Raheem Berry. During this edition, we will recap everything government related for the period of February 4th to 10th of 2022. Please stay tuned. The Ministry of Agriculture recognizes the valuable contribution that women have been making in the agricultural sector and has engaged several women farmers in fruitful discussions with the purpose of implementing a range of measures to further support local women's participation in the agricultural sector. The ministry noticed an increase in women's interest in agriculture over the second half of 2021 following the Women's Farmers Academy 6-week virtual training held by Helen's Daughter out of St. Lucia and the Food for Change organization.
In meeting with them today, a number of decisions were made. We will be hosting on the International Women's Day a conference-style Women in Agriculture conference, which will look at women in fisheries, women in crop production, women in agro-processing, and women in livestock production.
On Saturday, February 5th, 2022, the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, CFBC, held the virtual launch of the CFBC Alumni Association. Minister of Education, the Honorable John L. Powell, during his remarks, encouraged more young adults to attend the CFBC, noting that important role the institution plays in nurturing future leaders of the Federation. More relief is coming to persons in St. Kitts and Nevis who are still affected financially as a result of the lingering COVID-19 pandemic, as Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, told the nation that 2 key measures from his government's second stimulus package are being extended this year. During his press conference for the year held on Thursday, January 10, 2022, Prime Minister Harris said that income support to disadvantaged workers and persons unemployed on account of the COVID-19 and the fuel subsidy program to passenger bus operators are being extended.
In 2022, the income support and fuel subsidy program are being extended for a further 3 months. The fuel subsidy is being expanded to include taxi operators who have a travel approved seal. Presently, we are advised that there are 202 taxi and tour operators across the Twin Island Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis holding such a seal. Persons who applied last year for these programs under consideration need not reapply in 2022. The applications that were previously submitted are in the process of being reviewed to determine whether those persons now qualify.
In his 2022 budget address, Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris announced that his government will absorb half of the cost of hemodialysis and oncology services for the nationals who do not have health insurance and are accessing these services locally. Speaking at his press conference earlier on Thursday, February 10, 2022, Prime Minister Harris said that his Team Unity administration has followed through on that promise and as a measure came into force effective February 1st, 2022.
Consistent with our 2022 budget commitments outlined at paragraph 87 of my budget address, I am pleased to report that the cost of treatment of hemodialysis and oncology patients has been reduced by a significant 50% effective February 1st, 2022. In real terms, the cost of hemodialysis treatment has been reduced from $800 to $400 $100 per session. This is a massive saving in any language.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Bureau of Standards continues to work assiduously to identify training opportunities for its staff and other key stakeholders who will be tasked with implementing the National Quality Policy for the Federation. The National Quality Policy is the basic government instrument that sets out the objectives of the quality infrastructure in relation to meteorology, standardization, accreditation, and conformity assessment to build the foundation for effective trade. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris, announced that the Federal Cabinet approved the recommendation to relax restrictions on mass events that affected entertainment and sporting communities effective Saturday, February 12, 2022.
In other words, we have removed restrictions on mass events related or being organized by the entertainment and sporting communities as of Saturday the 12th. We urge everyone to be responsible and, of course, to comply with any direction of the police.
Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris, has hailed the contributions of the Republic of India and members of the Indian community to the development of the Federation.
Everywhere, the Indians are a part of every fabric of our socio-economic life. Retail and wholesale have for long been dominated by Indian entrepreneurs. And I'm sure many will recall fondly the astute businessman named Kishu of the Van Groups of companies. In tourism and hospitality, your Indian entrepreneurs are there with us. And in the field of offshore education, your own Honorary Consul Ramesh provided leadership at Windsor and brought a significant number of nationals and persons of Indian descent to St. Kitts and Nevis, many of whom have made St. Kitts and Nevis their home.
Prime Minister Harris was a special guest of India's High Commissioner to St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, at the Republic Day reception hosted in celebration of India's 73rd Republic anniversary. The event was held at Trianga Indian Restaurant on Sunday, February 6, 2022. Republic Day in India is observed annually on January 26. The observation marks the day India's constitution came into effect, thereby complementing its transition to a sovereign republic. On February 8, 2022, the Simply Held non-profit organization made a significant donation to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in preparation to the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. Resident Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Michael Lin, spoke on the significance of the donation and areas for further cooperation.
I believe this donation from Taiwanese organizations, NGOs, not only represent the full support from Taiwanese people to the COVID-19 pandemic response and hurricane disaster management in St. Kitts and Nevis, but it also demonstrates the staunch partnership between our two countries.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of SKNS Week in Review. I'm your presenter, Raheem Berry.